All right, welcome back, folks. I hope you're enjoying the show thus far, and it's Artifact time, and I'm joined, like I said last week, by Greg Bilby.
Good to meet you, brother.
Yo! Me and Greg have known each other a few years. We did a show for Tahlequah Community Playhouse in 2004?
Yes.
Mousetrap! And I tried to kill his wife, because I was the murderer. So we had the Superman cartoon from 1941 on earlier, so we're going to stick with that kind of superhero theme. You've got some Batman stuff from the 80s.
Yeah, found it in a junk store, and it's kind of wild because it's just, these are great. It's a gift pack. It is a gift pack and 8 free trading cards. It was a $2.25 value, which I think I picked up for $1.
I know those 80s prices just
I know,
right?
It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. Well, this one was actually 75 cents for this comic book, so it was just a value pack that I found in a junk store in a big box, and I found some Superman comic books for a buddy of mine who is a big-time Superman fanatic.
Are you into comic books? I mean,
it's
big time. I mean, obviously some interest at some point. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got these. But
yeah, I'm one of those melancholy collectors that had some really old stuff. Like I had an old Shazam comic book that got thrown away.
Shazam. Now that's
Captain
not
Marvel.
Shazam. What do you mean?
You don't remember the old TV show where he said Shazam? He had the red outfit with the lightning bolt.
I do not.
You have to check it out. Yeah, Captain Marvel. Look at
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I remember. I know that there was a character name, but by that name, which I guess is what you're talking about. But I didn't know that there was a show.
Yeah, it was a TV show like in the early 70s, like 74, 75, of course before your time.
Couple of years.
He and this old man cruised around this big Winnebago, and they went solving crimes and keeping kids out of troubles, like doing drugs and getting in gangs. It was real 70s. But it was really cool. And so I had old comic books, and I just ran across this. And you know, it's funny how they've changed. You know, now they're graphic novels. They're no longer comic books. So
yeah, and the actual is the packaging different, like the paper and how they do it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely more slick, you know, like the cover itself is a little more high quality paper, and then on the inside it's more like it's like the outside cover of a magazine, like those high-end fashion magazines, you know, the inside is done a lot different, and the storylines are a little more graphic, hence the term graphic novel. It's just, you know, it's just amazing what's out there, what genre and everything.
Yeah.
But the old ones, the old school, you know, like the old Spider-Mans and Batmans, they just, you know, some fond memories of just collecting and trading with cousins, you know, and then of course you get to order the big tub of army men out of the back, or if you want to buff up, there was the little one you could clip out the coupon to get big muscles, you know, so which I never sent in, obviously.
You know, I'm not really, I never got into comic books. I mean, of course, you know, I was way in, like I told you earlier, I was way into Superman when I was a kid, and then in 1989, when the Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton Batman came out, Superman was for kids then, and you know, so, but, you know, so I do like superheroes, but I never got into the comic book stuff. But I know that there's a big market for it. Actually, I have a friend, John Belt. You're watching. He watches the show, so I'm mentioning your name, John. John has a bunch of those, the new stuff, and I think I remember them being kind of like you talked about, thick covered and real glossy, real slick. So, what is the, see, these are 75 cents, right? These are 1986 prices. What would something like this nowadays cost with the type of packaging that's out there now?
I don't know. I haven't bought anything in a while.
Ballpark figure.
I'd say $2 or $3.
$2 or $3. Not that. It's not that bad. You would think with the print and all that, with the price of paper going up and all that kind of stuff, I was kind of thinking maybe $11 or $12.
Well, it just depends on if you get the bigger ones. I was thinking something this size. My little brother collected they had that whole Star Wars series come out where they had the Crimson Guard and the Sith and stuff like that. And he was really into it. And it was a really cool storyline. You know, they really offshot on the offspring of Luke and Leia and Han Solo, and really got into the Imperial Guard.
Oh yeah, doesn't Luke have twins?
I think so.
Or something, and then Luke goes to the dark side or something at one point. I don't know. It's weird how these comic books, depending on who gets the licensing for it, they just take it in their own direction. And I guess probably wouldn't be beyond reason for there to be 4 or 5 Batman stories floating around at the time of this, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Now these are still in the package. You've never opened these, have you?
No.
No, you have not.
No, I'm afraid to.
I wonder if there's any, you know, value to this now at this point, since it's mint condition. And actually, these are pretty. Would these be considered mint? Those ones that
well, no. See, this one's got a little bit of damage on the corner. You know, a little bit of folding stuff like. Let's notice that little corner's missing. So
yes,
not mint. You know, these would be probably good to excellent, but not pristine mint. You know, there's more intense comic book nerds out there than me. I'm just a junk store nerd.
And these folks up here, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, this looks like the same type of deal that they had. Remember the Superheroes Hour or whatever it was? Yeah, we had the stars, the transit.
Yeah. And then there was the guys like, and so that
Aquaman was still underwater and blah blah blah.
And Superman make it in time to save the city. Tune in next week. I remember that.
Some of you folks that are kind of our age, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you're older than us, you probably had kids that are our age now, and you're going, yeah, I remember that. Drove me crazy.
Saturday morning at 5 a.m. till noon.
Saturday morning cartoons back in the old days, man. Can't beat it. Now with like Disney and Disney Channel and Nickelodeon's really Cartoon Network. I mean, it's not just ABC, NBC, CBS. You've got so many options. It's out of control.
Well, Adult Swim and all those other ones too, those late night ones. It was just a simpler time. With I feel so old saying that, but Saturday morning, getting up at the crack of dawn.
I know, man.
Pestering your parents. Like, can I have some more, super sugar bombs, please?
Yeah. Saturdays for me are recovery day. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I mean, hey, guess who films Cherokee County Line? Me. So some late hours on that one. Before we let you go, I'm kind of had a renewed interest in getting people from the community on this show with their stuff. I'm kind of sending out a FYI out there. I'm looking for two things in particular, because I love the 80s. If you have He-Man or G.I. Joe stuff from the 80s, let me know. Get a hold of me at jScott@intv.me and say, I got some stuff. And to show you how much of a big-time He-Man fan I was, and I don't know why. My mom,
or Superman.
I'm blaming my mother.
He-Man or Superman?
This is He-Man.
Oh, okay. Oh,
this is me. Christmas 1985. And it was a very good year for me. And Chris, I got Clawful, Stinkor, and He-Man himself. Boom! Stinkor. You folks know what I'm talking about? The bad guys, when they would name them, they were pretty obvious. Like there was a guy that was covered in moss. Guess what his name was? Moss Man.
I can do a pretty good imitation of Merman.
Merman? You think you can do it right now?
I will take you there, your bride. By the power of Grayskull.
Yo, it was such a good idea to give you a call the other day. Greg, I know you got to get up to Locust Grove because you work for the Cherokee Nation. What do you do for the Cherokee Nation, by the way?
Cancer program.
Okay,
Cancer program. So I encourage everybody to go out and get screened, get checked, because a lot of cancers are treatable and preventable when caught on early enough. So, you're pushing close into your 30s, so you need to start taking better care of yourself.
I am currently 32, so...
Wow. Yeah, so lots of fiber, young man. Fiber!
Lots of fiber! Eat a bran muffin in the morning with some orange juice. You can't thank yourself enough. Okay, man, thank you very much for all this stuff. And folks, we will be back next week. I believe James Townsend will come back on, and expect to see this guy a lot more. A lot more. He's got a box of stuff that we didn't even touch, because I'm like, dude, that's multiple episodes for ya. So, folks, we'll see you next week at 11:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Jeremy Scott. You've been watching Retro Americana. Yo!